It is the Diddy trial day 3, and Cassie is back on the stand. Kim Kardashian has wrapped up her testimony over in Paris. Blake Lively is begging the judge to leave Taylor Swift out of this legal drama with Justin Baldoni. So much to get into. I hope you are ready for it. Let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, guys? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, hey. Happy hump day, hey. Hey, girl, hey. What's going on, everybody in the club? Hello, 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 hello. I hope you guys had a great start to your week. It has been quite the adventure. I hope you caught yesterday's episode, yesterday's interview with Hannah and Hagen of the Mormon Wives. Obviously, we had the clip of them that about Demi from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and Marciano from Vanderpump Villa and all of that drama. So much tea, so much drama. I think I actually have a clip from that interview where they really dive into all the dramas. Here, we'll play the clip for you. Talk Mormon Wives. They came in and stirred up a lot of drama. What was your take when you saw Marciano going back and forth with Demi in the comments online and that becoming a headline about something happening with him and one of the Mormon wives, which was then determined as Demi?
Listen, I'm not going to speak on his behalf or her behalf. That's their business. But whatever happened, I don't know what happened, but he felt something, she felt some type of way. I mean, listen, on reality TV, you see something clipped down to what, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, they were talking out there for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And everybody, like Jen, all of us were like, what are they doing? You know?
Yeah.
You're not sitting there saying, like, yeah, like, let's work on ourselves for 6 hours, you know? I mean, unless she's a therapist. But, I mean, I thought that was kind of weird. Like, if I'm married, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So
that kind of
you're
bad.
Team Marciano.
I'm not Team Marciano, but I'm not Team Marciano either. I think actually, I just said this to him. I think it was inappropriate on how he, you know, did. He knew she was married, but it's not my business, like, to get involved.
Do you think him even kind of pursuing her was inappropriate, given that she was married, even if...
I think Marciano was totally out of line, like, doing that. But, I mean, can you piggyback on it? Like, they were kind of both...
He did.
Yeah, I mean, I've only heard
But
Marciano's
she's just
side.
nice. Like, Demi was nice. Like, she was being nice.
Do you think that she was interested in him?
I don't know. I think
the drama. Okay, that's a sneak peek from yesterday's interview. If you have not caught it, obviously, if you watched Vanderpump Villa, there was a lot of drama between Marciano and Demi after the season wrapped because apparently something allegedly went down according to Marciano, and he was like making a big deal about it in the comments on Instagram, and then the other wives were getting in, and somehow Sheena's in the middle of all of it. She's friends with everybody. Drama. But it's juicy. I also have my interview with the wives. I have Jen and Miranda. They'll be on the podcast this week, so stay tuned for that and catch the season premiere of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. All new season drops this Thursday, I believe, May 15th. So go binge it on Hulu. Let's get it. Okay, what do we want to start? Do you want to start with Cassie and all of this Diddy drama? So it's day 3 in the Diddy case. Cassie is back on the stand today. And I mean, just so many things have come out about the Diddy freak-offs and we have to say alleged abuse. It's crazy what he would make her do and the amount of baby oil that they would go, like so much baby oil. Like they were just so lubed up. It was a little too much of the lubing, but when you obviously we're not able to watch the trial, but when you hear about how she's tearing up and you read some of the quotes that are coming out of the courtroom, It's crazy. He was making her call him Pop Pop, which is gross. Like, I don't know. It just I don't know. It's kinda creepy, no? Pop Pop? I mean, I get it, he's old and he's like a grandpa, but, like, Pop Pop is kinda creepy. It's kinda weird. It's we have a bunch of different, like, court sketches that have been released as well, and it's just it makes my stomach crawl. She talks about how after the video leaked, like, he was texting her, and I guess Diddy was telling her, that she needs to have a proper freak off without K, special K, which is the code word for the DURGS, special K. It's what they do a lot in Salt Lake City, actually, in Utah. They're using ketamine as like a therapy. I don't know exactly what or how. You'll see more of it on Mormon Wives this season. But yeah, he said that, a successful freak off is one that you can remember because I guess she talks about how like she couldn't remember them because she was so induced and she was so under the influence. And to me, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, she was calling him Pop Pop. There are a lot of sketches that have come out. He was telling her that, I guess doesn't know what a real freak off is. And so she also says that she was very much in love with him and wanted, I guess she was blinded. It was kind of I'm reading it more as like Stockholm syndrome, but she says that he would give her a number of different injuries from a black eye to a fat lip in I guess in 2016 after the hotel incident, he had like a run-in with the LAPD. It's just it's crazy. She read text messages that she I guess sent to Diddy. And so here's one of the quotes from that. She said, "I have a black eye and a fat lip. You're sick for thinking it is okay what you've done. Just stay away from me." So it's crazy that she kept coming back and kept getting caught up in this cycle. To my understanding, he was blackmailing her because obviously he would film all of these freak offs, and it kind of sounds like that's how he was able to keep people under his thumb. That's how he was able to get them to be loyal to him, is because he would threaten to, I guess, release these videotapes. Why else would you tape it if not for your own self pleasure, but also, hello, I would presume for blackmail. And so that to me is just I don't know. I just I don't know. Let's see. So the official charges against Diddy, I know it's racketeering and it's racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, because he was accused of forcing women to engage in acts that were trying to be YouTube friendly here. It says that he forced and coerced women into engaging in commercial adult acts. And then there was also transportation for the purposes of um I don't know, prostitution. I'm just gonna say it. If YouTube gets mad at me, YouTube gets mad at me. But so yeah, these are the core charges. It's the transportation, it's the trafficking, and it's the racketeering because he was allegedly running a criminal enterprise. Now, I don't think we've gotten into it is just Cassie's testimony, the second day of Cassie's testimony. So I don't know what else she may be revealing about this criminal enterprise that he was operating. Obviously, she was with him along the way. It's interesting. I wonder if they're gonna in some way compare Cassie to Ghislaine Maxwell because obviously like Epstein was the one that was allegedly running that entire enterprise. And so I would being that Cassie was so involved, I don't know. I mean, do we think that she could face some sort of criminal charges because she was so attached to all of this? It's interesting. I guess we'll continue to see how it plays out, but I'm assuming more of the questions that come today. Yesterday was maybe just kind of set the foundation and get us set for like what it was like being in Diddy's life, and then I at some point would assume that she's going to get more into the business because she was with him for a lot of this. She was with him for many years. She helped him coordinate and organize. I believe he would ask her to like describe certain things about some of the people, some of the alleged prostitutes. It's going to be a messy trial. It's only just the beginning. And I know you typically start with your star witness and you end with your star witness. So I think opening the gates with Cassie was a really strong start. We'll see what happens when other staff members begin to testify against Diddy as well. Oh, he allegedly beat her. I mean, well, is that, do we even have to say alleged at this point? Because we watched the video footage, which I know his team is claiming was altered and doctored, and possibly, I think they were alluding to maybe there being some AI or just some sort of fudging of the footage. But I mean, regardless, I don't know. Her testimony is for immunity of any charges. I mean, I would hope so. I don't know what deal she may have made with prosecutors. I would imagine there would be some sort of immunity deal in order for her cooperation, because then you have to factor in the fact that she was also part of the lawsuit with Diddy a couple of years ago, where they ended up settling. And this is the first time she's really broken her silence since then. We don't know exactly how the footage got out, the hotel footage got out, where we see him dragging her. I think he said that like the video was sped up, and I was like, oh, okay, so what the you know, the assaults, it happened a lot slower than what we saw on the video footage. Like, I don't understand what. Ooh, somebody's saying Bieber needs to testify. I don't know if he's in the place to do it. Could you imagine? What if that's the closing witness? That would be wild. That would ultimately put the nail in the coffin, is if Bieber would come forth and testify. Allegedly, the video had been rumored for years. I'm sure there are a number of videos that they have. This one, though, I don't know how it got out. Somebody obviously leaked it to the press, but they're claiming that that's not the original video. We'll see. But I think if Bieber comes out, it would be a game changer, and I think it would ultimately be the final nail in the coffin for Diddy. But I don't know if Bieber's in a place mentally or emotionally. He seems to be going through. What if that's part of why Bieber's going through so much? Maybe he is talking to prosecutors. Maybe he is preparing to testify. But don't we typically have like a witness list? I feel like that would get, unless they're like really trying to keep it under wraps and trying to make, I don't know. This is all just speculation about whether or not Bieber will be participating in this, but he was really young. He was really young. He was around Diddy. I would imagine there's something that would be beneficial to the prosecution should Bieber want to come forth. But that could also be why we've seen him really spiraling in recent months, is what if he really is, what if he really is coming forward with his story? That that could be possibly why we're seeing him in this spiral. Tanya says, I listened to Nancy Grace yesterday. Jurors are getting scared. One asked to be recused. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, when you start to listen to the crazy things that Diddy was doing and how he was trying to protect his image and how he was trying to protect himself legally, and the amount of money, remember, didn't he offer up like $50 million to let him out on bail or on bond? And ultimately, the judge declined, but he's like, if you're willing to just slap down 50 mil to get out of jail, to get out of prison, to get out of holding, that's crazy. I'm sure a number of people are terrified. I'm sure that's, I don't know. I mean, listen, this is money. This is power. This is a lot of influential, powerful people. Diddy made it all the way to trial. Epstein didn't even make it this far. We never got the Epstein list. So there were obviously a lot of really powerful people that were protecting Epstein. I don't know if they're still going to be able to protect Diddy in this case. Barbara says, remember, Diddy was Bieber's guardian for a weekend. Diddy did interviews talking about that. I'd also like to hear from Usher. Oh, that's right. Usher's another big piece of it too. Usher. I don't know. I feel like Usher tries to stay away from scandal lately. Like, he doesn't, I don't know. I know he's had his moments in the past, but I feel like lately he's kind of tried to lay low and under the radar. Look at Corey Feldman and his bravery. Yeah, but look at what happened. Like, Corey Feldman, I feel like, has kind of become a joke in Hollywood. Um, I don't know. Elizabeth says it's Trump that's protecting Epstein. You think, my love, if you think that this is all just Trump, there's a lot more, so many other layers. Trust me, when it comes to people like Epstein and Diddy, that's not a Democrat versus Republican thing. And to be honest, from what we've heard about the Epstein list, I think there's a lot more incriminating names on that list that lean with the Democratic Party than do with the Republican Party. But I don't know. We'll see. Everyone keeps wanting to pin it on Trump. And I'm not saying that Trump's innocent in any of it. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that Trump is or isn't innocent. I don't know what Trump's involvement is. I'm just saying there are a number of other people on the other side that to me seem way more culpable. So I don't know. We'll see. Diddy could be the fall guy for the Epstein list. Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. Danielle says, I got the VIP for Brooklyn. Okay, let's go. My Brooklyn show. For everybody that hasn't purchased their tickets yet, I am going on tour this summer. I'm coming to Dallas, Phoenix, Philly, Toronto, Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles. So come on out for a live podcast taping of No Filter with Zack Peter. You can get your tickets now at nofilterlive.com. Lots of fun guests. Donna Bowling's coming on tour with me. Chef Stu O'Keefe is coming on tour with me. Colonel Kurtz is coming on tour with me. Andy Lawani from the Pop Report is coming on tour with me. Spill Sesh is coming on tour with me. If you guys are a fan of Spill Sesh on YouTube. The Sidley sisters, the Sidley twins, if you listen to Twin Talk or watch Twin Talk on YouTube, they're coming with me. They're going to be in the Seattle show. So lots of fun. Giorgio Says is going to be in the Philly show. So lots of fun guests that'll be spilling tea and breaking down all of the drama, whether it's Diddy or Blake and Baldoni or Housewives, like whatever is hot that week, we're going to be breaking it down. And I have lots of special guests that will be coming on the road with me as well. So stay tuned. Get ready. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's get it. Irma says, anyone who is still on the Democrat versus Republicans bandwagon is not paying attention. Wake up. It's both. Yeah, it's about power. It's about power. Whoever's at the top. And right now, both parties are at the top. They're just trying to distract you, being like, no, it's that party. No, it's that party. They're the problem. They're the problem. Everybody at the top right now, I see as potentially part of the problem. Now, the layers, I don't know. The depth, I don't know. But I agree. You know, lots of people in power. Khaleesi Dyer says, agreed, but who is the president now? If you think the president has absolute power, you think you must have just fallen out of a coconut tree. There are so many figures. Listen, look at Biden for the last 4 years. He was in cognitive decline and clearly wasn't the only one running the show. So clearly there are a lot of people behind the scenes that have power and influence. Okay. Let's move on to Blake and Taylor, because Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have just issued a new letter to the judge, and they want the judge to give Taylor Swift a little grace, to give her, to respect Taylor's privacy. But first, really quickly, a message from this week's sponsors. Have you seen the latest fluoride headlines and the water supply? Well, the future of oral care isn't fluoride. It's peptides, and the wellness company just launched the first ever peptide paste that regenerate gum tissues, strengthen enamel, and naturally whitens your teeth. It's called Smile, a doctor-formulated breakthrough that works with your body's natural repair process. This advanced formula blends targeted peptides with blue spirulina, aloe vera, and powerful remineralizers to boost blood flow, stimulate collagen, and help rebuild lost gum tissue, all while gently whitening without sensitivity. No fluoride, no peroxide, no artificial dyes, just real clean ingredients that fight bad bacteria and support a healthier mouth from the inside out. Ready to upgrade your oral health? Experience the future of oral care with Smile. And get 15% off plus free shipping on every order. Just head to twc.health/nofilter and use code NOFILTER. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow. That's twc.health/nofilter and use code NOFILTER. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Eating well has never been this easy, okay? Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick from gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. I like that Protein Plus. I'm trying to be proteined up for summer. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfast, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in the flavor with none of the fuss. Like I said, I'm loving their Protein Plus package. The food is delicious, and it's so nice to just walk in, pop it into the microwave, and be done, and not have to worry about cooking or going to the market, which reminds me, I have to go to the market. But now I have Factor, and at least dinner tonight's covered. Get started at factormeals.com/nofilter50 off. That's NoFilter50 off and use code NoFilter50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code NoFilter50off at factormeals.com/NoFilter50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Are you sick of drinking your calories or waking up hungover? Having some drinks can be fun, yes, but I'm glad that I found an alternative that lets me feel great in the moment and the next morning. And those are the out-of-office gummies from Soul. You may have seen me post about them on my Instagram, and it's because I really am taking them. I really am enjoying them. Sometimes you just need a little something, right? Something in the middle of the afternoon to help you get through the rest of your inbox, or something at the end of the day to make your evening a little more enjoyable. And that's where today's sponsor, Soul, can help. Soul is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. Their best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. The out-of-office gummies come in 4 different strengths, so you can find the perfect dose for your vibe. Choose a gentle microdose, you can get the perfect buzz, a noticeable high, or if you want the fully lit experience, that's an option too. Plus, Soul has so many other amazing wellness products with or without THC, depending on what floats your boat, including a variety of gummies and capsules that can improve sleep, stress, pain, focus, bloating, and more. Bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering my audience, that's you, my audience, 30% off your entire order. Go to getsoul.com, that's GETSOUL, getsoul.com, and use code NOFILTER. That's getsoul.com, promo code NOFILTER for 30% off. All right, let's talk Blake and Taylor. Blake and Taylor. Let's get it. So Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have issued a letter to the judge saying that they want this subpoena that Justin Baldoni's team has issued to Taylor Swift. They want it. They filed a motion to quash. They want it done. They want it thrown out. They said Taylor Swift is entitled to her privacy and she should not have to be dragged into this drama. This is merely for sensationalized headlines, and therefore Taylor Swift should not have to be involved in any of this. How dare they? And I don't know. I'm calling BS on this because I'm just like, listen, Linda, no. As we talked about on the show yesterday, everybody was saying that like Blake was talking about how Taylor was so involved and was constantly name dropping Taylor on the promotional tour. And then I went and I watched a lot of the clips where you can clearly see that Taylor Swift is being dragged in all of this. Wait, I think I may actually have a clip for you. Taylor Swift is obviously being dragged into all of this because she clearly had some sort of role in all of this. Okay, I do have one from Billy Bush. He posted it on his Instagram account, Hot Mics with Billy Bush. And to me, I'm just like, do they really think that Taylor's going to get out on this? Because there's the casting piece, there's the music piece. I believe there was even a clip that I saw of Blake talking about the original composer, and she claims that they had to part ways with the original composer because the original composer just didn't understand, like he was focusing too much on the hysterics of women in the tone of the music, and so they needed to shift the tone to make it more, I don't know, yummy and florally, flowery. I don't understand what they were trying to do with this exactly, but yeah, here's a clip from, it looks like it was one of the advanced screenings for, is this the one that I was invited to? There was one that I was invited to in New York at the Roxy, and I didn't end up going ultimately because, I live in Los Angeles. Okay, but here's a clip where she talks about Taylor Swift's involvement in the film.
Did you have to make some calls? There were a lot of calls made for a lot of songs in this movie. Honestly, like, this movie, I think that, like, when you see it, it feels like a big, beautiful summer movie, but, like, we didn't have any budget. So there were a lot of favors and a lot of begging, and your niece for Taylor? I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time, all throughout it, so, like, she really lived this with me. Yeah, she was, she's a person who shows up for you, and I'm so grateful to have that love and that support. But yeah.
Yeah, And then he also posted the quote from Taylor where it says, Taylor Swift's spokesperson says, Taylor never set foot on the set. She was not involved in casting or creative decisions. She did not score the film. She never made any notes on the film. She did not even see It Ends With Us until weeks after its public release. Well, clearly she had some sort of involvement because we also have Baldoni saying that she walked into one of the meetings. So, yeah. 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 I agree with people in the live chat. And I think I said this on the show yesterday. I don't think Taylor Swift was intimately involved with all of the creative decisions, but she was clearly around Blake enough. And I think Blake would bounce ideas off of Taylor. Taylor would probably placate her or just kind of be like, yeah, oh my God, you're so smart. You're so pretty. Oh my God, that's so great. Yes. I think it was a lot of that, right? She just knew she had to gasgate Blake up and stroke her ego. And I think that was just kind of part of their friendship, was to gas each other up and to, be the girl squad together and to make sure that, we're braiding each other's pussy hair and like being besties and like making sure we got each other's backs. No. I don't think that Taylor was super involved. I don't think Taylor was trying to take over the film. I think Blake is super manipulative, and I think she knows that just flexing Taylor Swift's name and flexing her husband's name, I think she thought that that would be enough to skirt around and get her way, right? Because that's, I think, why she referred to them as her dragons. It was an intimidation method. It was a way to show that she has powerful people in her court, and she's going to make sure that they help her if she ever needs them to. And I'm sure if she asked for a favor, Taylor would do her a favor. I'm sure that's how she got the song from Taylor, My Tears Ricochet, to be the anthem of the film. It was a favor from Swift. I think Blake even says, like, yeah, there were a number of favors and we were asking a lot of people to do a lot of things for us. And it's helpful when you have powerful dragons beside you. But when those dragons aren't really your dragons, they're their own dragons, they're going to protect themselves. Creeby says there was a Reddit post on August 2024 before all this mess went out. It exposes the issues concerning the making of the movie and how Blake would bully her way to take over production. Yes, and I believe it's in that same Reddit thread that talks about Taylor Swift allegedly getting the original composer fired. So even though Blake came out and said that it was about the tone of the music, the Reddit thread that came out, and there were a lot of accuracies in that Reddit thread that have now come to light. And so I don't know, maybe she really did have the composer fired. Maybe there was some sort of past beef between the two of them. I don't know. Carrie says, Liar Lively just cannot shut her damn mouth. No. And now we're seeing that it's all coming back to bite her in the butt. And it's so interesting because remember I talked about Aphrodite's video yesterday and how he said that part of Wayfarer's tactics and part of Brian Friedman's tactics are they're going to use Blake's own behavior against her and use that to discredit her. And so ultimately, if you start to point out her inconsistencies or her bad behavior, I think the jury will turn on her and be like, well, in this case, how do we believe her now? So I think a lot of her old bad behavior is going to start to come to light because, I mean, you do have these things on record. And I think when it comes to the judge, Brian Friedman can very easily present 3 different times that Blake Lively said that Taylor Swift was involved in the movie in some way. And from there, I think that is enough to at least bring Taylor in for a deposition and be like, well, Blake Lively, who's suing, says that you were intimately involved in the process. So what was your involvement? What did you do? How much did you know? And if you didn't know anything, then again, the discovery process, the depositions, those should be very quick. That should be a breeze for you. Handing over the text messages should be nothing because there would be nothing to find, right? Blake wouldn't need to argue third party privilege, to privacy. Blake wouldn't need to try and ask the judge to remove Taylor. If anything, Blake's probably just trying to do this to be like, look, Taylor, see, we're loyal to you. We're trying to protect you. We're trying to save you. He's the one that's crazy. He's the one that wants to make this a media circus. It's like, nah, bitch, we already been there, done that. You started this. You think we just fell out of a coconut tree? No, you started this. You started it with Van Zandt and that whole lawsuit debacle, which has now formally been brought before the judge. We'll see what his thoughts are with the whole Van Zandt lawsuit and how they had 10 unnamed does in that lawsuit, but they didn't even name Blake Lively. Then that lawsuit was dropped, and then they brought forth the CRD complaint. And the Van Zandt lawsuit, I believe, was in New York, but the CRD complaint was in California. So it seems like there was very much a strategic play here. There was a strategy. Queen Bee says, Aphrodite is great. He seems not to be following the case and has come with some similar conclusions as many people in the weeds. I agree. I was actually just talking with my friend Donna. I don't think she likes Aphrodite or like believes him. I think she thinks that it's all super woo-woo. But I'm like, Donna, we need multiple takes from everything and from everyone, you know? So yeah. But Aphrodite, he, I think, came to a lot of really solid conclusions, and he's again not involved and doesn't know all the details, but just from his own readings, I was like, that's what my own gut instinct was saying. Those are some of my own predictions. That's where, our heads are at based off of what we've seen. Sanctions for attorneys. I know. Sham lawsuit. I think Leanne Newton on X, I think she calls it the Van Sham lawsuit, which I thought was really funny. It's a good time. Aphrodite is so fun. Blake Lively's reputation was tainted by her own doing and her brother's marketing and many other stunts he pulled. Yeah. Her husband's marketing. Yeah. The way that they decided to market the film was so weird and so dumb and so cringe. And again, it's like you can't replicate Barbenheimer when those movies are more like escapism movies, right? They're fantasy. Whereas It Ends With Us is not directly based on true events, but it's based off of a real life scenario. Like Barbie is not a real life scenario. So you can attach it to Oppenheimer and make it a Barbenheimer weekend and cute, fun, right? You feed the dude, you feed the chick, and then it's like, yeah, we both get to watch movies and then get laid later and have a good time, have a good date night out, right? Or even if you just do it on separate days. Barbenheimer was a thing, and I think they were trying to make that happen. But it's like you can't put It Ends With Us with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like those are not two movies that go together at all, which I mean, I guess to be fair, neither are Barbie and Oppenheimer, but they're just both at an equal level of like fantasy. Whereas this movie, like you have Marvel, which is super fantasy, comic, camp, and then what did you say about Oppenheimer? I actually don't know what Oppenheimer's about. Oppenheimer. Oh, during World War II. Oh, sorry, I stand corrected. Well, no, but it's still like based. It's not. It's based off of World War II, sure, but it's not like it's not a true story. Oh, it's a drama. Okay, well, I stand corrected. It's a dramatization of the real life story of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the physicist who had large hands in the development of the atomic bomb. Okay, well, then I stand corrected. I always thought Oppenheimer was like a thriller, like a dark thriller type of movie. I stand corrected. Well, actually, I still think that it's a different level. It's not like of serious nature as like DV awareness, if that makes sense. Sorry. Melissa says, dude, please pick up a history book. You know what? Fuck off. Okay. I didn't know what Oppenheimer was about. I never saw it. Jesus. Oh my God. No, his real life interviews are insane. Okay. Well, I'm not familiar. It's so serious. It's nuclear war. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm wrong. I own it. Sorry. I didn't know what Oppenheimer was about. I literally thought it was like a thriller. Okay. Drag me for filth in the comments. Jesus Christ. Have you guys never misspoke before? I read it and I corrected the record. I still stand by my statement. Deadpool and Wolverine does not go with It Ends With Us. That's the main point here. They don't go together. Okay. Donna says making a bomb is pretty damn serious. Okay. Sorry, Donna, Maria. Okay. I apologize. Sorry. Making a bomb is. Nancy Drew says, we're just here to help you. No, I appreciate you. Donna is not just here to help me. Donna's here to drag me. Okay. Drag me, Monique. Drag me. Someone thought Oppenheimer was about Brent and Jason from Selling Sunset. Sharon said, what a firestorm going on, Zack. I know. I'm sorry. Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Zack being defensive is hilarious. Well, because I didn't realize what I had said. Now the live chat is trying to cancel me for not. I didn't know what Oppenheimer was about. I didn't know it was about the atomic bomb and nuclear war. Gee willikers. Brittany says, random question. Okay, let's have a random pivot. Zack or chat, has anyone gotten a spray tan using the level dark? I normally do medium, but would like a little darker. Well, that's really a pivot. Brittany coming in with your cultural appropriation. No, I love a good spray tan. I've never gotten the level dark before. That sounds like extra cultural appreciation. Or not appreciation. What is it? Appropriation. Seems like you're really trying to appropriate someone's culture. I'm gonna stay away from that one. The live chat tried to cancel me over Oppenheimer. You making your skin extra dark. I'm gonna stay away from that one. Barbenheimer worked because it was organic. It ends with us, and Deadpool couldn't have worked if could have worked if it wasn't forced. No, I still don't think it would have worked because the way that they were trying to market It Ends With Us was it was supposed like she was trying to make it more of like a rom-com. Like that was the marketing rom-com, you know? Pivot, Ross and the spray tan. Yeah, Ross tried to do that. Ross from Friends, and that didn't work out so hot for him either. I do love a good spray tan, though. I do love a good spray tan. I will say that. Barbie was Blake Lively's nemesis, Margot Robbie, and Oppenheimer with Emily Blunt. Yeah. Yeah. Mary says, LOL, it's okay, Zach. I get what you were saying. They screwed up though. Deadpool could have been the Barbie comedy, and It Ends With Us, the serious Oppenheimer drama. They tried to do it backwards. Okay, well, I totally missed the mark on that whole argument. Zach's age, he wouldn't have heard of Mr. Oppenheimer. They don't teach it in school hardly anymore. I mean, that's probably a good point. I mean, granted, I never did my homework, but um, I don't know. I I don't I don't know. I don't know. Um, I did also see that Scarlett Johansson, she was talking about her directorial debut, Eleanor the Great, which I believe is tied to Justin Baldoni's production company. And so she was asked about it in Vanity Fair. And I think she kind of just like laughed it off, which I guess is um the only thing you can do. But so she said that, she and Justin Baldoni were super supportive of each other, and, but it was just weird timing given the legal drama, considering Scarlett Johansson was married to Ryan Reynolds, and Ryan Reynolds is now married to Blake Lively, and they allegedly had some sort of a fling-a-ding-ding. It's so crazy. But so, yeah, Scarlett Johansson and Justin Baldoni worked together or had some sort of connection together on Eleanor the Great, which was directed by Scarlett Johansson. That's her newest film that she's now promoting. It was produced by Justin Baldoni's production studio. That's going to be interesting when it comes to them trying to get Justin Baldoni to prove damages, because like if this movie does really well, then they're going to be like, see, he didn't get damaged. I hope they don't try to drag Scarlett Johansson into this. I hope Blake's legal team doesn't then try to go after Scarlett the same way Baldoni's team um, is going after Taylor Swift. Because if you really think about it, that could be a legal strategy, right? Go after Scarlett Johansson, have her talk about the success of Eleanor the Great and the success of this new film that she did with Baldoni, and be like, we'll see. Actually, I don't know, because then I feel like in a cross examination, Friedman could then turn it and be like, well, what was your experience working with Justin Baldoni? Did you have a positive experience? Did you have a negative experience? And I would imagine Scarlett Johansson had a positive experience working with Justin Baldoni. So maybe it's not smart to drag Scarlett into this. But yeah, she just said it was funny timing. She kind of just like played it off, laughed it off, but said that they were super supportive of each other, which is a positive thing to say, right? Like everyone else is kind of like distancing themselves from like, or I guess not. You have like Michelle Maroney, or I guess it's pronounced McKelly Maroney, and you have Paul Feig. Good for him. I don't know. Amy says, I was catching by listening at times two speed when you were responding to the Oppenheimer comments was hilarious. Oh yeah, me fighting back all the comments coming at me. He lost a couple of movie contracts. Yeah. So I mean, this one's just one that happened to work out. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm happy about that. Last update, the Menendez brothers. So if you listen to this morning's episode of the Pop Report, obviously we talk about the Menendez brothers resentencing, but now we do have an update on the Menendez brothers, and it seems like they're going to be just fine. So the Menendez brothers have gotten their sentencing updated. Los Angeles DA Nathan Hochman was against it, but ultimately they ended up winning over the judge. I'm assuming the testimony was very powerful. They had like their cousins, and I believe like their aunt testified as well. They had someone that was previously an inmate that testified on their behalf. So lots of people spoke out about how much they've grown behind bars and how they're not the same people that they were back when they were teenagers that, happened to whack their parents. So yeah, Lindsay says, great episode of the Pop Report. Thank you. But so the update is since we taped the Pop Report yesterday. The update is they did win their resentencing. The judge did rule in their favor. They will be resentenced to, I believe it's now 50 to life. What is the, let me just get that correctly. Menendez Brothers new sentence. I believe it's 50 to life with parole. The Menedez brothers have been resentenced to 50 years to life, making them eligible for parole after a Los Angeles judge reduced their original sentence from life in prison without the possibility of parole. So this is the good thing, and this is what they were looking for. So it does open up the doors for them to be able to bring forth this case before a parole board and see if they can get an early release based off of like good behavior or just, showing that they've rehabbed themselves enough. It's crazy. I mean, their parents, I think, were for the murders happened in 1989. So this has been a legal saga for decades. There were 2 trials. They were locked behind bars. They've been there for, I believe, 30 years, almost 30 years, 30-ish years at this point. 35 years. 35 years. They've been behind bars. So now that they've been resentenced to 50 with parole, I'm assuming they can go before the parole board and see if there's a way that they can get out early. If not, well, then they have 15 years left. But at least they do have an opportunity. Well, yeah, I think they are able to get released after 50 years, right? So they have 50 years behind bars if they don't get out early on parole. But again, that's a case that they'll have to present before a parole judge. We'll see. Justice for those failed boys. It's unfortunate. You have to add, I mean, I get it where a lot of people are like, they don't deserve to be freed for what they did. I get it. But if the abuse is true, which it appears that it was, I think that does add a layer that should be taken into consideration. I do think they deserve to be behind bars for what they did. Obviously, nobody should get away with committing murder against their own parents, especially since it was premeditated. I do believe that it was premeditated. I do believe that, they tried to cover their tracks to the best that they could. So it's, I don't know. But they were young. They were kids at the time. And I don't think that they did it solely for the money. I think that they did it because they weren't in the right state of mind. And I think the abuse definitely influenced that for sure. Cora says the Board of Prison Terms will have the final say when they are released. We'll see what happens. But at least for now, before there was no chance they were ever getting out. And now there's at least some chance that they will be getting out. And from what we hear of them, it does seem like they've really turned their lives around. They're both married now. They, I believe, both have degrees. I think like Eric is like really into like art and he likes to paint. Good for him. It is going to be interesting because if you think about it, if you've been behind bars for the last 35 years, that's longer than I've been alive that they've been in prison. That's crazy. I'll be 32 in June 15th. So yeah, that's a very, very long time. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. Russ says they also rehab themselves even though they thought they would never get out. That's a really good point. I don't think they ever expected to get out. They knew what their sentence was, knew that they were never going to be up for parole. And now, here we go. Sharon says, what happened to the Menendez money? I believe a lot of it was used to fight their legal case, right? Attorney's fees and whatnot had a lot to do with it. And then I don't believe they ended up getting that money. What happened to Menendez Brothers money? Yeah. I believe it ultimately, yeah. Okay, so the financial inheritance of the Menendez brothers was forfeited following the conviction for both of their parents. But I do believe they were able to use that to at least pay their attorneys. Whew. Damn. They were, so Jose and Kitty, who were their parents, their net worth was 14 million, over 14 million. Damn. So what happens when that gets forfeited? It just goes to the state, I would assume. That's wild. And so they're saying with inflation, that would amount in today's terms to 36 million. It'd be equivalent of 36 million in today's terms. Wow. Wow. It's rare for abusers to get justice. Are we saying they're the abusers? I mean, technically, if we're getting technical here, they're technically murderers. I don't think they're abusers. They're murderers. Their dad was an abuser, according to what they've come out with. But I don't know. Mildly Mercurial says Justin was an executive producer because he funded it. Most executive producers have the title kind of as a trophy title. Yeah, it's more of a vanity title, but someone tell that to Blake Lively. Yeah, she definitely was like, I'm an executive producer. And then she like bullied herself into going from just an executive producer, which is a figurehead title, to the from executive producer to getting her PGA mark. I wonder if that will be revoked. If Justin Baldoni had lost his award, which is crazy that they took that award away from him without like watching this all play out. I wonder if that award will be reinstated. I would hope so. But also, after that, I would be like, fuck you. You want to give me the award back? You took the award away from me before even hearing my side of the story. Sorry, I'm good. I don't need your award back. I'm good. But you know what award I do want? My 100K plaque from YouTube. We're so close, you guys. We're so close. So close. Please, if you haven't done so yet, we're at 98.3. Can we at least get to 99 by next week? It's Wednesday. By Sunday, do you think we can hit 99,000? We're so close. So yummy. So close. So please, if you are loving the show, continue to support. You can leave an Apple Podcast review. Let me give an Apple shout out. Apple shout out. Shout out. Maybe I'll read some Spotify comments. I don't pre-vet these, so let's hope they're nice. Oh, this one's a nice one. Awesome find. This one comes from Amanda J4467. Says, I'm now addicted to this podcast. I happened upon it because of the Blake and Justin, but I love all of the content. Zack has an awesome personality, and I literally LOL several times an episode. I love his neutral take on political things, having no filter, calling it like it is, and saying exactly what he thinks, which is mostly just common sense. We need more creators like him. Thanks, Zack, for the refreshing take and all the laughs. Always the highlight to my day. Thank you, Manda. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate that. Yes, I definitely appreciate all the lurv in the club. Okay, here's another one that came in on Monday. Herpes jokes are so 1985. Isn't that a song? 1985. Springsteen, Madonna, way before Nirvana. There was U2 and Blondie, and music still on MTV. Her two kids in high school, they tell her that she's uncool because she's still pretty occupied by 1985. 1985. Herpes jokes are so 1985. Why make jokes about herpes? How do you think this makes people who have herpes feel? Hopefully you won't face the stigma of this condition, which may have or don't know they have it, which many have or don't know that they have it. Well, if they don't know that they have it, then where's the fucking stigma? Yes, that was Bowling for Soup. Hello? Like, there's a stigma for people that have it, and many don't even know that they have it. Then where's the stigma? How are they stigmatized if they don't know that they even have herpes, like Blake Lively? You know, it's always it's also a very controllable medicine. Well, if it's very controllable, then what's the problem with having it? No more stigma. Take away the stigma from Blake Lively having herpes. Wow, let's make fun of HIV next. How fun. Should we? No, I'm kidding. Let's act like we are much better than others. You're not. Humility would suit you. Well, guess what, Beach Lover 863? Listen up, Beach. I have herpes. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I have it and I don't even know. Maybe you're discriminating against me. But so this is originating from this headline that I thought was hilarious about Blake Lively. And it says, I'm surprised that didn't turn into a harassment claim. Zack Peter reacts to reports of Justin Baldoni refusing to kiss Blake Lively because of herpes, which again was just one of my favorite headlines that I've ever made. I think they pulled that from the podcast, which was just a fun time. But also, I don't get how I ended up in the middle of Blake's herpes gate, okay? From all the hashtag Blake Lives Matter people. I don't get how I ended up at the center of the Blake herpes drama. Okay, let's remember the person that outed the herpes story was not me. It was Andy from Popcorn Talk, who I love. And I text him all the time. I'm like, you fucking got me in the middle of this herpes gate. And he's like, sorry for spreading the herp. Yeah, it's herpes gate. So, yeah. Brigitte says we were not making fun of labial herpes. We were disgusted by Blake Lively hiding her outbreak. Sure, Andy dropped the juice. Yeah, Andy spilled that tea. How come Andy's not getting dragged into headlines and getting dragged in Apple Podcast reviews about the herpes? Humility would suit you. I do agree with that. I think humility would suit me, but I'm just a cunty bitch. So you're just going to have to deal with it. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, chicka, chicka, 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 boom, boom. Jen says, you're the chosen one, Zach. Am I? Because you have the best quotes. My quotes are so yummy. It's funny, when I was taping Andy's his new documentary about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, I was delivering lines and Andy would pause and be like, that's gonna be a trailer line. That's a trailer line. So I was like, oh, I'm so yummy. Yay. Rawr. When is that documentary? I don't know. You have to ask Andy. Top 3. Yes, that's right, Khaleesi Dyer. I'm still, as of today, number 3 on the Spotify charts. Can we make it to number 1? Okay, now I'm just getting selfish. Now I'm getting greedy. But go on Spotify and leave me a rating or leave a comment here. Let me give a shout out to comments on Spotify to encourage people to go leave an Apple Podcast review to like filter out the negative ones if you feel so inclined. And then like please leave me a rating on Spotify. We're at 1.9 thousand ratings on Spotify. Let's see. Do we have any yummy comments? Jessamine Bryan says, I'm so much more invested in the trials. I have zero interest in reality TV stuff. Okay, Jasmine, I'm trying to give a balance, you know? Michelle says, I don't think that Hannah and Marciano deserve to be fired. I agree. Hannah and Marciano did not deserve to be fired. I will stand 10 toes down on that. I think Sienna and the guy were so toxic and stirred up the trouble. I agree. Those two should have been booted. They offered nothing. Hannah and Marciano at least bring life to a dull show. I agree, Michelle. I agree. And then Colorado Mama on Spotify says, please cover the Diddy trial. We're covering the Diddy trial. Maybe we'll cover it more. I think I'll do more like Instagram Reels, kind of doing recaps of it all. But yeah. Thank you guys. Love you. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Copper Mountain 32 says you have 1,000 watching, but only 194 likes. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button if you're a fan of Blake Lively's herpes. Alleged herpes. Alleged. Yeah. The Diddy trial is so gross. I'd love to hear your take on it. I feel like I have to do like a members only though, because I feel like I'll get like flagged up the hoo-ha on YouTube if I try to cover it on the main feed. But yeah. Emily Cheek says, trust me, if you're a medical professional, the humor can get a whole lot more dark. Oh, I'm sure. Zach, I had to refollow you on Spotify. I didn't unfollow. Oh, well, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. I can't stomach the Diddy trial. Yeah, I missed the herpes. Well, you got lucky. If you missed the herpes, that means you don't have the herpes, and you got lucky. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a wonderful rest of your hump day. Hopefully you get humped today. And I will talk to you tomorrow. I love you. I appreciate you. Get your tickets to the No Filter Zactivated tour. It's a live podcast tour. I'm coming to Dallas, Phoenix, Philadelphia, Toronto, Brooklyn, Chicago, Seattle, Los Angeles. It's going to be fun. It's going to be yummy. You're going to meet other members of the Zack Pack. You're going to meet the other dragons that are fighting to bring justice for Baldoni. So come on down. Come on down. All right. I love it. I'll talk to you later, guys. Get your tickets at nofilterlive.com. I'll talk to you tomorrow.